It was only in December 2025 that I was very happy after reading a news that said that India has overtaken United Kingdom as the fifth largest economy of the world. But at the same time, this has been released according to the World Economic Outlook that has been released by IMF or International Monetary Fund that says that the India has slipped to the sixth position again, and again it is the sixth largest economy after United Kingdom, and United Kingdom has regained its position, that is, it is now again the fifth largest economy of the world. Now, why this has happened, or why this has, again, the India has slipped into the position, what are the reasons behind it, and also, according to this, what are the implications? We'll be talking about everything in this video. So, be along with me till the end. And my name is Bhanwarsingh. I welcome you everyone on this platform of the StudyIQ IAS in English. Now, when it comes to the World Economic Outlook report that has been released by the International Monetary Fund, it says that the revised nominal GDP projections and the rank of the India is behind United Kingdom for 2025 and 2026 as well. At the same time, why this has happened? There are two reasons. The number one reason is that the rupee has depreciated against US dollar. All right. And it has compressed the GDP in dollar terms. All right. We have seen that rupee depreciation has been there. And ultimately, this has happened because of the, the strength of the rupee that is getting weakened because of the West Asian crisis as well. And that is one of the reasons why the Indian economy has crunched in the terms of the dollars or dollar compressed GDP in the dollar terms. At the same time, the second of the reason is that the India's GDP base year had been revised recently. We have revised the base year for the GDP calculation from 2011-12 to 2022-23, and this has lowered the nominal base for India as well. So both of these reasons combined have led to the result that the India has shifted in the position. So at the top, we have the USA, then we have China, then there is Germany, then Japan is at the fourth, then UK, and now India has slipped to the sixth position. All right, the fifth position, it was of India before, but now again it has come down to the sixth position. And over here you can note that when it comes to the dollar, so UK has $4.0 trillion of the economy as compared to India that has $3.92 trillion of the economy overall. Here, the margin separating between number 5 and number 6 is just 80 billion. It is just 80 billion. And again, when it comes to the gap, it can be easily bridged or widened by the change of the rate fluctuations rather than the real economic contraction. So therefore, this does not mean that the Indian economy has contracted. All right. At the same time, when it comes to the, when it comes to the complete scenario, so the complete scenario is that India had overtaken United Kingdom in 2022-23 in nominal GDP terms. At the same time, the new IMF or the International Monetary Fund projections, now they place India behind United Kingdom for 2025-26, and India still remains one of the fastest growing economy or the major economies. The growth rate is or it will be 6.5% of the GDP, and India is the fastest growing economy when it comes to the major economies of the world. India's growth outlook remains strong, that is at 6.5% for 2026 and for 2027 as well. At the same time, the real GDP growth, it remains strong even if the nominal rankings have slipped. So therefore, it is not a matter of much concern, and we must not panic because of these changes in the numbers or the position. Now, this is the nominal GDP projections when it comes to US dollar in trillions, that is for 2025 and 2026. So, India will have right now in 2025, 3.92 trillions of the dollar. That was India's economy. The UK was 4.0 and Japan was at $4.43 trillion. At the same time, for 2026, India will achieve, or India's economy will be $4.15 trillion. At the same time, UK's will be 4.26 and the Japan will be 4.38. So you can say that over here, when it comes to the growth, so in the growth percentages, the UK will grow. At the same time, India will also grow, but the growth of the Japan, it will not be that much. And we can assume that in 2030s, India will take over UK and Japan both. All right, or maybe Germany as well. So this is the major reason that I have told you that when it comes to the old nominal estimate, there were the theoretical high baseline based on the previous 357 lakh crore rupees calculation. And the base year had been shifted from 2011 to 2022-23, and that has corrected the previous overestimations that were there, and it has reduced the nominal GDP by roughly 2.8% to 4% for India. At the same time, there had been currency pressure as well, where near about 10 to 11% depreciation had been there because or against the surging US dollar, and both of these combined together, they have resulted the $3.92 trillion of the Indian economy that has been currently realized about the Indian economy. All right, so this is the major reason. And over here, Gaurav Sengupta, who is chief economist of the IDFC First Bank, have said that the change in rank, it reflects a new base year of GDP. Further, the rupee depreciated against the dollar by 11%. The combination resulted in the GDP ranking revision for India. Now, as a country, we have certain strength, but at the same time, there are certain weaknesses as well that we will have to be very, very cautious about. When it comes to the strength, so we have sustained capital expenditure in India. At the same time, we have strong corporate balance sheet as well, and we have favorable shifts when it comes to the trade. Like for example, now we have reduced US tariffs as well. But at the same time, there are certain external risks, like for example, there is the raging West Asian crisis and geopolitical shocks that we have to be cautious about. There are supply chain disruptions because of the geopolitical tensions, and again, that has an impact on the Indian economy as well. And there is currency volatility as well as the capital outflows that increases the current account deficit, and also the broader global economic slowdown as well, which we will have to look and also plan accordingly so that the Indian economy, it remains robust. Now, when it comes to the one of the most important thing that we have to be cautious about, that is the geopolitical shock, especially what is happening in West Asia. The West Asian crisis, if it escalates, that will result into the price spike, and the global crude prices, they will increase. That will lead to trade imbalance where the current account deficit, it will widen rapidly because of the heavy reliance that we have on the oil. We import somewhere around near about 90% of the domestic demand of the oil, crude oil, from the other countries. All right, there will be capital outflows or currency outflows that will increase the dollar demand, and when the dollar demand will get increased, that will have impact on the rupee depreciation as well, and also there will be depreciation. The INR, it will weaken further against the US dollar, and that is the major reason that why we have slipped from the 5th position to the 6th position globally. Now, what is the rebound pathway that we have in India? The first thing is that the base year dip have slipped. We have slipped to the number 6 when it comes to the World Economic Outlook report that has been released by International Monetary Fund. By 2028, we should reclaim the number 4 position, and the projection is to reach 4.58 trillion economy, which should generate $113 billion margin over the UK and $17 billion margin over Japan by 2028. And in 2032, we should strive to achieve the number 3 economy in the world. That is the aim, or that is the goal that we have. Now, over here, there is a term that we have used repeatedly, and that is nominal GDP. So there are two kinds of calculations of the GDP. One is nominal and the other one is real. Now, what is the difference? Then when it comes to the difference, nominal GDP is basically the total of the economic output that has been produced in a year valued at the current market prices. All right, current market prices, if it is valued, then it is called as the nominal GDP. All right, nominal GDP, it doesn't take into the inflation into the account. At the same time, it is calculated at the current market prices, and it is much higher since the current market prices, the changes are taken into, or they are taken into the impact. All right. At the same time, it can be compared with various quarters of the given year, and from nominal GDP, economic growth can't be analyzed easily because it is not factoring into the inflation into the account. Now, when it comes to the real GDP, it is basically the total of the economic output that has been produced in a year, but valued at a predetermined base market price. So we have a base market price, we have the real GDP or the GDP base that has been now at 2022 and 23. All right. Real GDP, it is inflation adjusted GDP, and base year market price is taken into consideration while calculating the real GDP. All right, it is much lower because of the market price of the base year is taken into consideration, and it can be compared with 2 or more financial years. At the same time, it is good indicator of the actual economic growth that is or that has been in a country. So now when it comes to the rank, India's global rank in the nominal GDP, it is important, but it is only the scoreboard. All right, it is only the scoreboard. It does not signify much. The ranking slip is mainly kind of a nominal GDP story, not a collapse in the real growth. And also a nation's true economic growth or the economic rank is finally judged not by the number on a global table, but by the equality, inclusiveness and resilience of the lives that it creates. So that would be all in today's session. Now, I hope that you have a complete understanding why India's rank has slipped to the number 6 when it comes to the World Economic Outlook report that has been released by the IMF. And if you are preparing for the civil services or for UPSC for 2027 and 28, you can enroll into our foundational batches for your complete preparation, and these batches are available in English language, in bilingual and also in Hindi language. The new batches will be starting from 27th of April, and to gain the maximum discount, you can use the code BRSLIVE and you will get the maximum discount on the platform. So that would be all in this video, but do not forget to like, share as well as subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any of the updates. Thank you, bye-bye, take care and Jai Hind. Thank you.